actually threw out a question on Twitter and was like, "Hey, does anyone have any questions? Going to talk to a guitar tech." And I actually
You threw out a question on Twitter.
I
I don't even
did.
have Twitter. I don't
Ex-
even know how Twitter works.
so I made it general. I was just like, "Going to talk to a guitar tech. He's out there with a lot of big hitters. Any questions?" And actually, I did get one. This is I'm usually terrible about this. I never remember to do it, and then afterwards, I'm like, "Ah, shit! I probably should have said something on Twitter about it." But someone did ask, and I will shout out to him because he's been a big follower. Is at JTrain039. He asked,
At JTrain039.
yes, sir.
All right.
He said, "I'd love any tips on guitar maintenance. Love learning, doing my
Oh
own work
wow.
on my own gear." And then he said, "Then of course road stories." But we talked about road stories, so I guess guitar maintenance tips for those
Well,
out there.
first off, you got my Facebook.
Yes.
Give me a shout out on the Facebook.
Yeah.
At whatever it is 039. Hit me up on Facebook.
JTrain039.
You can message me. You can add me as a friend. Like I'm totally open.
Dakotah Cole. Find him on
Just don't hit
Facebook.
on my wife, otherwise I'll find you.
Yeah, that's all. That's the least I can ask of you. We can talk about guitars, but just don't randomly start
Yeah,
hitting on my
really, just
wife.
keep it guitar related. No, I'll give you some. I'll give tour stories. I don't give a shit about that.
Yeah.
I'll give you the best tour story after I do this.
Yeah.
Guitar maintenance. What is it? Just general guitar
Yeah, I
maintenance?
think just general. He likes to work on guitars himself. Is there any advice?
Yeah. Well, like I said, I guess before you work on your own guitar, go buy a pawn shop guitar
Yeah.
and fucking wreck it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, don't take it apart, see if you can put it back together. Get bigger strings, smaller strings, whatever you got to do. Just see if you can do it differently.
Yeah.
And then look at your favorite players, like who you like watching play guitars, and see if you can make that guitar sound like that guitar player's sound.
Yeah.
See what you got to do.
Yeah.
Get on the internet. There's millions of message boards, profiles, whatever. Do that. And then as far as maintenance, buy yourself, you know, 2 sets of Allen wrenches, metric and standard. Research. This sounds totally funny. This is the best tuning tip ever. Big Ben's nut sauce. It's the greatest thing ever. It helps so much with my tuning. I apply that in the middle of shows.
Okay.
And just stretch your strings, man.
Yeah.
Like, all I can tell you is make the guitar play how you want it to play. Like whatever feels comfortable to you. And it's this, like Nick, like this is probably same thing for drums.
Yeah.
Just make the drums feel how you want to play. Like
Right.
you should be able to. A good guitar should play how you want to play air guitar.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I've always thought of it.
Yeah.
Like, make it feel like you're playing air guitar, but there's something in between your hands.
Yeah.
If you can make it feel like that, but the worst comes to worst, you bought a pawn shop guitar and you totally fucked it up.
Right.
Like, I've spent $100 on much worse things.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
you can do that.
And then you can redo it. Like, it doesn't have to be anything crazy.
Yeah.
Just start there. Like, you're gonna fuck everything up and you're gonna make mistakes.
Yeah.
And once you learn that, that's, rock bottom.
Yeah.
The only thing you can do is go up from there.
That's true.
So that I guess that's my best
That's
advice.
good.
That's how I started.
That's good. I think that's good.
And
advice.
then totally lie, your way everything. And,
exactly.
yeah, just tell kind of white lies. Don't. But yeah.
Good, man. I think that's good advice, and a good tour story to end on.
Oh, good tour story to end on. Okay, so I was guitar taking for A Day to Remember. I think I mentioned that earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they want their name associated with this, but whatever. Who cares? So we didn't have we couldn't drink on that tour.
Okay.
Like it was you don't drink on show days. You can drink on days off,
Yeah.
kind of thing, and which is totally normal. Like whatever. Um, but we had like 4 days off of like a 2.5 month tour.
Yeah.
So like we're getting like about a quarter, month and 3/4 through something. You pretty good sized chunk of the tours out of the
Sure.
way. So we're all looking for a day off, like just get drunk.
Yeah.
So we do our last show. We're going to Spokane, Washington. Um, I wake up. We're at a gas station with a liquor store. So we buy a bunch of champagne, a bunch of orange juice. I buy a bunch of like a case of Busch Light.
Keeping it classy.
Yeah, like a case of cigarettes. Like this is probably like 2009, 2010.
Yeah.
Probably 2010. And so we drink a bunch of mimosas in the front lounge. This is just crew, not band.
Yeah.
Like band's not even there. But since we had a day off, we wanted to party. So I get drunk on mimosas. I pass out like at like 10:30. So we have like 2 hours to go. We go there, get to Spokane, and I'm getting out of the bus, and the band comes up, and we're like, "Hey, there's Chili's across the street. We're gonna band's buying lunch. 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
For everybody. Like just a big thank you. Come over and like sweet."
Yeah.
And so I'm sharing a hotel room with my our merch guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually his birthday today. Happy birthday, Quinn.
Ah.
You're probably never gonna listen. So we go to our hotel room. We kill the case of Busch. We smoke like 2 packs of cigarettes like in the bathroom of the hotel room. Like it started off bad news. So we go over to the Chili's at like 3 o'clock. I'm hammered by this point, obviously. I start ordering double shots of whatever, some kind of whiskey. Like bloomin' onion, appetizers, whatever. Band's paying, I don't care.
Right.
At some point, this Mexican mom and her 2 sons, like probably like 3 years old and 5 years old, sit down behind like where our party is.
Right.
And so whatever, I'm carrying on like being an asshole. And that's the last thing I remember. So everything beyond this is something that somebody's told me. Or people have related to me, whatever. All of a sudden, the little 3-year-old boy starts screaming in Spanish. And the mom all of a sudden starts screaming in Spanish, and he's holding his neck. And in my drunken haze, I stand up, I kick the chair over in the restaurant. Everybody stops and looks at me, and I say, "I'm a fucking Boy Scout. Call fucking 911." So I run over to this little kid, and I give him the Heimlich maneuver, and I pop out a piece of ice out of his chest.
Wow.
I saved a kid's life.
Wow.
And he starts breathing again. Nobody calls 911 or does anything like that.
Right.
And so I sit down at the table with the mom and the kids, and I have lunch with them. I high five the little boy, and then I demand that Chili's pay for my lunch. I don't remember that. And yeah, they walked away from that, and that's what everybody told me. I woke up back in my hotel room on my bed.
Now, not many people have their drunken stories usually involve you know, getting dicks drawn on their face, you know, ending up weird drugs or hookups. Like yours is you saved someone's life.
I saved a little kid's life while I was hammered.
That's awesome.
Yep, that is a true story. So yeah, I'll leave you with that. You can
That is a great one.
you can write your iTunes description based on that.
And I absolutely will. That's great, man. Thank you. That you gave me a shitload of your time today, man. I appreciate it. Thank you.
No, whenever you want. Let's do this again.
I absolutely will have you on again.
I would love to.
I can't imagine the amount of other stories you have that we could get into.
I'm trying to write a book, but I keep getting put off.
Well, you write that book, and then you write the dumbass cookbook so that I can buy.
I need to write the dumbass cookbook. I need to write, say, mince. That's that's my first job.
Exactly. Awesome, man. Thank you, man. It was so good to catch up with you.
It was so good to catch up with you. Let's talk more about Dr. Manhattan next time.
Hey, I loved it, man.
All right.
All right, buddy. Have a good rest of your Sunday, man. And say hello to the missus. Hope she's feeling better.
I will. Thank you.
All right, buddy.
Bye.
See ya.